grinding with the thirst, thought I'd never fall in love. Then there was you.
Yes. It is that time again. It is Wednesday, October 12th to be exact, and you are in the clutch with M&H Sports. I am Michael McClendon, alongside Passion from home, like always, Haas Bay. What up, Haas?
What's going on?
How was your week, man?
Week's good, man. The wife, she had the birthday. Now I got the birthday tomorrow, man. So, still celebrating.
Yeah, the big 3-0.
Yeah, man. Getting old, even though I'm young.
Yeah.
Still great.
I hear you. We got a lot on the show today, man. We got a good amount of NFL talk. We're going to do the Tebow thing. Tebow's getting the starting job, so we got to talk about that. College football has a good slate of games coming up this weekend. So, we're going to pick apart that. And we got a couple different new segments, Take Your Pick segment also. So, like always, you can email us at mnhsports@yahoo.com. Find us on Twitter, MNH_sports. Hit us up. Hit us up, whatever you want to talk about. We'll talk about whatever. Me and Haas don't care. So we'll get right into the first subject, Haas. The lowly Broncos, they finally take the Beamer Bentley keys from Orton. They turn them over to Mr. Tebow, who has probably the craziest following of a backup quarterback that I've ever seen in my life.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
And he's getting the starting job. What do you think about that?
I think that, I guess John Fox was listening to the Denver crowd, the fandom, and I guess he's just going with it, man. I mean, what do they have to play for? I don't think they're going to catch up in the division. They're not going to make the playoffs. You might as well see what Tebow has. They was trying to move Orton, before training camp. They didn't get it done. At first glance, Orton is the better quarterback, but Tim Tebow, he's a winner. He has that wow factor every time he's on the field. So why not go with it? Roll with the punches.
Yeah, I mean, but I look at it. I look at it a different standpoint. I mean, Kyle Orton, he's not great. I mean, he was in Chicago. He did his thing in Chicago. We all know about that. And he goes to Denver, and I really think they just don't have a team. I mean, I don't think any quarterback right now, unless you're, a top-notch quarterback, can succeed out there. I mean, you're giving the ball now to Tim Tebow, who has the following. He has the heart of a champion. We all know that. He has the Rudy Tomjanovich. He has that.
He's a winner.
Yeah, he's a winner. One in high school, one in college. I get that. But the NFL game, I think, is a little too in-depth for him right now, and I think giving him the keys, they're 1-4, I think, or 0-5, or they're 1-4. I can't remember who they beat, but I think giving him the keys now is not the greatest thing. I know they got a bye week. I know they got 2 weeks to prepare, but with the new collective bargaining agreement, they got to have 4 consecutive days off during their bye week. So he's not going to have as much practice time as people think. So right. I actually think you should have stuck it out with Kyle Orton. And when I heard on ESPN First Take the other day with Skip Bayless, is that he thinks they don't like Tebow, but he thinks they're giving Tebow the keys so he can fail because that's not his guy. We all remember Josh McDaniels was the coach that actually drafted Tebow in the first round in 2010.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's the one who felt, Tebow, he can make something out of him. So what do you think he's going to do so far? I mean, do you think he's going to succeed? Think he's going to fail?
Well, for him to succeed, it's not about is he going to succeed or is he going to fail, because that remains to be seen. You got to play out the games. What I want to see is how they change the offense. You got to simplify the offense for him, because he doesn't have the the true ball skills of a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. But I bring up
you got to you run screens, you run you can have motion them out. He could do bootlegs. He could do other things. He's not going to stay in the pocket and win you a football game. So you got to change your whole game plan around this, to suit his skills.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely correct. But my thing is, you look off those last few games he started at the end of last year when he was, I would say average at best. He was making plays, and I think that's what everybody's looking at.
Yeah,
him.
he was making plays. But what did those games matter?
Thank you.
At the end of the day.
Thank you. And now you're giving him the keys at 1-4 or 0-5. Somebody needs to find out that exact 1-4. You give him the keys now at 1-4, and he actually can bring them back. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I actually think they have no chance of winning that division with the Raiders playing so well and the Chargers always on top. But he has that opportunity now. So all these games are meaningful now. This isn't let's throw Tebow in the fire and see what he can do. This is meaningful football at 1-4 because you're only 5 weeks in. So
I mean, I feel like they're out of it, but officially they're not. They can run off 5 straight. You never know, but it's make or break time, and I think they break.
No, they definitely break. They definitely break. I don't think there's a question about it. But, some people say, his throwing motion is terrible and he doesn't stay in the pocket. I mean, if you watch when he came in that second half, he had a play. And I wish we had TV screens in here so people can look at it. He had a play where he was getting pressured and he did a full 360 in the pocket where at one point he was looking the other way to try to avoid defenders. Like,
this is the last play, right?
Yeah.
I watched the last play when it was happening. Yeah.
He has no pocket presence. So this is
not at all. You got it. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be as easy as the Denver fans think. They think Tebow's going to come in there and they just automatically going to get wins or something like that. They feel his excitement. I don't know. I see it like you see it. It's gonna be rough for him.
I mean, as a playmaker, he's awesome. As a guy who you want on your team because he generates so much excitement, so much passion for the game, so much love for his teammates. Yeah. You want that. In the NFL, do you want him as a starting quarterback? No.
No, absolutely not at all. He deserves a package of plays.
There you go. That was my next point. There you go.
Every week.
Yeah.
We can skip the next question. We can skip that. Skip the next question. He gets a package. Give him 5 plays a week. Let's move on.
Yeah, I agree. That was my next thing. The package, he needs that. And moving on. And so said, we got to talk about the Detroit Lions. The Lions are 5-0. First time since 1956. Might I add, that's the last time Haas made a shot on the basketball court. Might I add? I don't know. I told you on the show last week. I still think this Lions team is subpar at best. And I'll tell you why. They're 5-0. They play great football. Last 3 games, might I add, I think so. They were losing the first half. So second half is when they make their statement and they come on. And again, we talked about this last week on the show. The Jets were doing similar to that last year, where they were winning games, by luck, if you can say, or squeaking things out. Now they dominated the Bears Monday night. Yes, they dominated them. They got the Cutler, but we all know how that offensive line is. And Javid Best has some big plays. Did they kill us with stats, really? No. But again, stats don't really mean nothing in the game of football, until we look at it. I just don't know if this team is built once they start playing the division 2 times and some of those hard out of division games. I don't know if they're built to go 10-6, 11-5 like everybody thinks. I still think this is a 7-9, 8-8 team. I don't know. What do you say?
I mean, you look at what they got offensively. You got the stud of all studs. You got Megatron.
Can you live off of Megatron? He's one player who plays receiver. He doesn't tackle. He doesn't run the football. Matt Stafford has to be upright to give him the ball.
They got something good here. You got Megatron. You got Matt Stafford playing well. He's thrown 13 touchdowns already. Only has 4 picks. He has over 100 quarterback rating, 101. You got Megatron. He got 9 TDs already in 5 games. I mean, they're putting up crazy stats, but they're winning at the same time. They beat Chicago, which that's a defense that was supposed to. People thought their streak ends. Urlacher and Briggs was going to bring it to them, and they didn't. They found some holes in their defense and took advantage of them. I see, and then you got Detroit going against San Francisco this week.
Yes.
If they can beat San Francisco, get to 6-0. Because San Francisco has a strong D, and I like the way they're playing with Alex Smith. He's playing good ball too. He has 7 touchdowns and 1 pick.
But that's another team. I'm not. We'll get on that in a second. But that's another team. I'm not buying yet. I'm not buying it.
Okay, but I think if they can get to 6-0. I mean, do you really see them only winning 3 games for the rest of the season? The way they're playing, if Stafford and Megatron are healthy, no way. I think they took a wild card spot away from the rest of the NFC. That's how I see it.
And this is why I disagree. You got somebody like Javid Best, who's a superb athlete, a superb talent. He's not a running back. I'm sorry, he's not a true every down back. And they drafted that.
No, he's not. We know that.
They drafted that by taking the guy out of Illinois, LaShore, but he got hurt, popped his Achilles out for the season. So they don't have a pounding back. He can't get you the game he got Monday night every week, and we've seen that already. That was his first over 100-yard rushing game. And he's been, in the league only 2 years. I understand that, but when you can't run the football in the winning weeks, like we spoke about before, when the weeks that count and the playoffs, which I don't think they'll make, but if they do, if you can't run the ball and if your defense can't, stop somebody when you need to, not just wait to the second half. You got to play 4 quarters of football. You can't win the game in the second half every week. It just can't do it. So I think this team isn't built for winning yet. I think they are growing something tremendous. I really do. I think Detroit's going to be good in years to come. It's a great young talent on both sides of the ball. But this year in particular, Haas, I don't see it. And I get what you're saying, but I just don't see it.
if the game's close, they have a shot. Stafford to Megatron. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to cover. Nobody has stopped it yet.
Yeah,
So,
they haven't played the
so if
Packers.
all
They
have
haven't
to do
played
is
the
keep
Packers
game
yet.
close. That's how Detroit keeps the game close. It's going to be tough for the teams to pull it out.
I don't see it. And this is why I think they split with Chicago. I think Chicago fixes a little bit of things on that offensive line because if you look at the numbers, Mr. Cutler didn't have a bad game. Forte had a good game. So if you fix those numbers, they stop the big plays from happening. Urlacher ripped his defense on in his press conference because nobody can make a tackle. Like they couldn't tackle anymore.
They couldn't tackle, and they had holes in their defense.
Agreed. But if they fix that, they win the second game. I think Green Bay beats Detroit twice. I think they beat them on Thanksgiving, and I think
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. It's in Detroit. It's in Detroit. And I think the Packers will win that rubber match at home. This is how I look at Detroit. I think they're primed for something great. I think they're going to be good in years to come. I think this year they're not built for it. If they do slip in with the wild card, it doesn't look good for them because no matter what matchup they have, I think they're going to have problems stopping the passing game and running the football. And I
don't disagree with that. I look at it in their division. Matter of fact, I look at it as the Packers being the teacher and them being the pupil. Like, the Packers are going to. I think the Packers will sweep them. Also, I think they're going to win the 2 games. The Packers are going to be they'll win the division by like 2 or 3 games. But you're going to have the Lions right there. They're going to get in the wild card. And they're going to build a lot. And then next year, I think, they might be able to challenge the Packers for the division title. I don't think they challenge them now. I think they take the wild card.
We'll see. I mean, you spoke on divisions. I'm glad you brought up divisions because what used to be, most of us proclaimed the best division in all of football was the NFC East. I mean, every year you had, 2, 3 teams going into the playoffs out of the 6 spots for the NFC coming out of the NFC East. Hands down, probably one of the toughest divisions in years past to play in. But
and all marquee teams.
Exactly, all big market teams. But now you look at it and it's like, which way did NFC going? And I think right now NFC is behind the NFC South and NFC North, which I think is 1 and 2 respectively. And we're not going to talk about the NFC West because I don't even think that's real football played out there. But I think the NFC East is lagging behind for various reasons. I think that they're mediocre right now. I think all the football played right now is it's sad to say. It's like just it's tackle football. You go out there, you throw the ball around, let's just run around. There's no systems. There's no set game plans.
These teams are flawed, Mike.
They're tremendous. That's my okay. But like, you say that
Dallas and Philadelphia,
exactly.
They're extremely talented, but yet they have holes.
But Hodge, you can say that about every division. But you look at the NFC North and you look at the NFC South. These teams are trained and look like world beaters. You got the Packers who are great. We just talked about the Lions. You got in the NFC South, the top 2 teams down there right now could be the Saints and Tampa Bay. Or Atlanta. It depends on what night it is. You know what I mean? But you got 3 teams that are all playing great football. Where the NFC East, somebody's 3-1, somebody's 3-2, somebody's 2-2, whatever. But it's terrible football they're playing. It's not good football. So to me, Haas, I don't know. You are an NFC East fan. What do you think the division needs?
Well, I agree with everything what you're saying. So I'm not going to stress too much about it. I think, like I said, the teams are flawed. I think the Giants are physical, but that's where that ends. I think the Washington Redskins are taking advantage of their schedule right now and playing good football. But I don't think. I don't see them winning the division. I don't see them making the playoffs. I don't see them putting up a fight. I think they're going to come back to the pack. I've been saying that all season long, and it might start this week. They might beat Philadelphia, but I still think they come back to the pack.
Whoa! Hold on. I got to backtrack. And anybody who knows Haas knows he's a livid Eagles fan. But did I just sense some?
No, they might be.
No, hold on.
Washington might be Philadelphia.
No. Haas, I know you, and everyone who knows you knows you. There was never a might. Anytime the Eagles was playing the NFC East division, there was we're going to beat. Now there's a might. I'm listening. I'm hearing a little bit of some frustration, some sadness coming from your voice. Are you upset about your Eagles right now?
All right. First of all, I'm professional. I'm on the radio right now. I'm not upset. No, seriously. I mean, the football team in Philadelphia are playing undisciplined. So to expect them to change everything around because they're losing games the same way each and every week. I mean, it's just mental mistakes, penalties. They can't tackle. You know, the play calling is still, you can't get a flow for the offense because they're still running flea flickers and play action, end around, deep passes, like no flow to the offense. So you can't expect Philly to come down in Washington. Washington's playing better football. So it's not about who's on what roster. They're playing better football right now.
Not buying them. I wish we had a segment today.
Washington might win this week.
I'm not buying the Redskins. Niners, Lions, not buying any of them. But I will say this about
I'm not buying them either. You just said I like San Fran and Detroit, but I'm not buying Washington. But they might win this week. Yeah. It doesn't mean they're good.
Okay,
it means they're better than Philly.
What's the division? Give me the division ending the year right now. I know it's only week 5. What is top to bottom the ending of the division? Who stands at the top? Who stands at the bottom? Give it to me.
New York Football Giants, man. For some weird reason, they're going to play strong enough for them to win the division at 10-6 somehow. That's how I look at it.
Okay, who comes in second?
This is just week 6, so I mean, this is how I see it right now.
Like I said, right now,
I see the Giants going 10-6, and Dallas going 9-7 or 10-6. They split somehow. I don't know what happens, but somehow the Giants get the tiebreaker or ahead about one game, and they win the division. That's how I see it.
You know what? I'm not even going to sit here and act like you didn't make any sense, because you did. I think it goes Giants, Cowboys, Redskins, Eagles. That's how I look at the ending of the division.
Exactly, man. I only speak the truth, man. If I wanted to speak with my heart, I say the Eagles win 9-10 straight.
Exactly.
But no, that's not going to happen. Right now, that's not going to happen.
You're a little smarter than that. Yeah. All right. Just like we end every NFL segment, we're going to do a little bit of who you got this week. Rain off some games for you, Haas, and see who you got. Carolina, Atlanta, who you got?
You need to tell me where the game's being played.
Okay. Carolina, Atlanta, in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta.
It's Atlanta. I think you know what? I'm gonna go back on myself. I think young boy gets it done. Cam Newton gets it done. San Fran versus Detroit in Detroit.
Detroit.
Ooh, can Colts get
Megatron.
Can the Colts
Megatron.
Megatron?
Megatron.
Can the Colts get their first win in Cincinnati, guys?
They can. They won't.
I like that. Buffalo, such a good team. They go to New York. They're gonna play the Giants. Who you got?
I'm going with the Giants at home.
Okay.
Going with the Giants at home. I think Vince Patrick and Stevie Johnson and Fred Jackson, they're going to give them a run for their money. But I think Giants get it done because they didn't bring it last week.
I like that. You got a point there. I like that. Last two, Houston's in Baltimore. What you got?
Oh man, I like Schaub and what he's doing, but this is the same Texans team I've seen every year. So they don't get it done.
Ravens.
In Baltimore, it's Ravens all day.
There we go. Last game. I think this is a big test for Mr. Romo. He goes into New England. Does he get it done?
No, because you know what? If this game was in Dallas, I might have picked the Cowboys. But going in New England, I mean, it's just rough, man. Tom Brady rarely ever loses there, man. Like, he's healthy. They're playing well. New England all day.
I like that. You are listening In the Clutch with M&H Sports. I'm Mike. He's Haas. We'll be back right after this.
On Caldwell Radio.
Hey, how we ball in the club, I know you hate it. Mommy dancing on the floor like she naked. When she laid out with you, I know she fake it. All the girls give it to me, I ain't gotta take it. Oh, pop champagne. Oh, pop champagne. Oh, we pop champagne. Oh, we pop champagne. We need more bottles.
Welcome back. You're In the Clutch with M&H Sports. I'm Mike. He's Haas. We're on Caldwell Radio. Follow us on Twitter at MNH_sports. Email us with any questions or concerns. We're at MNHsports@yahoo.com. Show's been going good so far, Haas, man. I mean, we're on board. We're giving it the energy we need. Let's get into some college football talk. We got some big matchups this weekend amongst ranked teams. I want to get to a few and break them down a little bit here. We got number 11 ranked Michigan Wolverines. They're going to East Lansing to take on Michigan State. I mean, they got the electrifying Denard Robinson in Michigan. I mean, he's all the hype. Let's be honest. He's all the hype. Michigan's 6-0, but we've seen this before. I mean, I know I have been a Wolverines fan. I'm not going to be biased because we're here on the radio, but I've seen this before. 4-0 2 years ago, 5-0 last year, and then they get into league play and they start to slip, and they wind up only getting 6 or 7 wins. I've seen it. So Michigan State's ranked 15th. They always play tough. Do you think Michigan can get it done?
Wolverines aren't for real, and I'm going to tell you why, Michael. I'm going to tell you why. All right, let's look at 4 of their first 5 wins, all right?
Mm-hmm.
These are the teams they beat. They beat Western Michigan, Eastern Michigan, San Diego State, the Golden Gophers, and Northwestern. All at home. Oh, well, no, the Northwestern
is on the road.
Northwestern, that was on the road. So they won a road game. So
I mean,
good.
that was a meaningful division game that last year they had trouble with. But go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So they win, they win, they're 5-0. So, they beat Notre Dame at home 35-31. It was a tough game.
It was a great game. That's an instant classic, Haas. Come on. Instant classic.
Tough game. They pulled that off. You want to see some promise there, but you got Michigan State. They're number 1 ranked defense in the country right now. It's a division foe. I don't see them getting it done on the road, man. It's gonna be rough. And Robinson, he threw 9 picks already. So I
was going to touch on that.
I see. Maybe he throws 3 pick sticks this week, and it's not happening. I don't think it's happening. And then I'm looking at the end of their schedule. I'm looking at I think at Illinois.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Number 16.
A lot of road games left.
You got Nebraska, number 14 at home, and then Ohio State. That's always a big game with the Ohio State University. So I see 4 losses on there somehow, man. I think they come back down to the pack. They might still be in the top 25 by the end, but
now I give
they're going to fall. They're going to fall. They're going to fall.
And look, as like I said, I will speak real quick as a Michigan fan. We'll take 4 losses. A team that's been averaging anywhere from 6 to 8 losses for the last 4 or 5 years will take 4 losses. But this is what I'll tell you. I see Michigan maybe squeaking this game out against Michigan State because I think they've learned to capitalize off of not only other teams' turnovers, but to take less chances with Denard in big games. Like when we played, when they played all those cupcake teams, you're taking a lot of chances because you're trying to get points, you're trying to showcase all this talent, you're taking a lot of chances. The Notre Dame game, he limited himself, he didn't run the ball much. In the Northwestern game, they kind of let him loose again, and he threw 3 picks. He's not a quarterback. Let's get that straight. And I think everybody knows that, and anybody who follows football knows he will not be an NFL quarterback. He's not. He's a playmaker. Just like we talked about with Javid Best, that's what Denard Robinson. He's a playmaker. And I think he makes enough plays against Michigan State for one and the rest of the season for them to go at least 10-2. I see maybe 2 losses in there, maybe Illinois, Ohio State. We always have trouble, even though Ohio State's terrible this year. I still see maybe them getting only 2 losses. And
you're saying they're going to win that Nebraska game?
Absolutely. I think they shocked the world because they're at home. I think you got to look again. This is a team that's been taken over by Brady Hoke, who's a Michigan guy. Like everybody likes to talk about as a coach, you need a Michigan guy. Brady Hoke is that guy. I think he gets that defense playing better than he have in the past. We're still giving up a lot of points here and there. I understand that. But we have an offense that can outscore you, kind of like what the Rams did in their Super Bowl year. They just said, we're just going to outscore you. You know what I mean? And I think Michigan has that type of offense. But they have some holes on defense. Like you said, I think they shocked the world against Nebraska. They lose games they're not supposed to, like Illinois and Ohio State. Would you say to that?
I think that's fair. I think they lose this week, though, to Michigan State. That's why I think going in there, I think they needed Michigan. If they had Michigan State coming up to
Ann Arbor,
Michigan, in
Ann Arbor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they had came up there, then it'd have been a different story. I would actually go with the Wolverines in that one, but the way they're playing defense down there in Michigan State, there's no way that Robinson's going to lead them to a victory. I see 3 or 4 picks, and they lose by 10. Probably. Probably lose by 10. They'll give a good fight, lose by 10.
Good fight. I hear what you're saying, and I can't disagree with you too much, but I think they squeak it out. I do. Another big game for this weekend amongst ranked teams, and a little under radar matchup. Not too many people probably going to talk about it. Is the number 20 Baylor going against the Texas A&M Aggies? They're going down to Aggie Land, the house of the 12th man, one of the hardest places to play. That stadium gets loud. Truly one of the best arenas out there, and it's a matchup against 2 great quarterbacks. Baylor's Robert Griffin. He's all world, just like Denard Robinson. He can run it, he can throw it. Throws it better than Denard. I will give him that. Doesn't throw as many picks. Doesn't take as many chances. Going against Texas A&M's Ryan Tannehill, who was, I might have to add, a receiver 2 seasons ago for this Texas A&M team, but now it's turned into a great young quarterback, and I think Todd McShay has him in his top 5 or 10 quarterbacks to maybe get drafted this year. But I don't know. It's a great matchup to see. I think the Aggie crowd might be the biggest key to this game. What you think?
I mean, conventional thinking, you would think that, but for some reason, these teams are evenly matched in my eyes. So I think Baylor is going to come down there. I think they're going to be confident. They know Texas pretty well, so I think, or Texas A&M, and I think they get it done on the road, man. I think they're gonna move up in the rankings probably by the time this weekend's over. They'll probably be up to the 18, 17. They'll get the win. Texas falls to 24. Texas A&M.
Yeah, I was say Texas A&M.
They'll fall to 24.
Yeah, and the one thing I think Baylor has a great chance of going into Texas A&M and winning is that defense. I mean, they have a great defense. They got a lot of solid players, no big names like they do have on offense. They got a bunch of guys who play hard, play together. The Eagles probably should have watched this game to see how you play together on defense. But I mean, these guys, they're going to get after it. And Texas A&M, they're
giving up a lot of points.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come on, like who are they throwing out there? It's like they have a high school team out there. Like, it's ridiculous. No, there's no way. I truly think Baylor's going to come in there and win.
Yeah, so. No. I'm agreeing with you. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying Baylor's defense is the key, and I think Texas A&M they can't stop anybody, and they show that they're pretty one-dimensional. Once they're running game, they got two great running backs. Texas A&M too. So I'll never understand. Silas Gray's a pro prospect, and Christine Michael is also a pro prospect too. Running backs for Texas A&M, and I'll never understand why they don't just pound the ball. I mean, they have two great backs and pound the ball, but they want to give Tannehill this opportunity. First of all, let's go back a little bit. Tannehill took over, I think, 3-4 games in from I think his name was Johnson, the quarterback that was there last year, and he did okay. I mean, he played great football, but he's only been playing quarterback for like 2 years at Texas A&M. So they want to showcase this kid's talents and throw the ball all over the place. So I'm not buying into Texas, even though that crowd is tremendous. I'm just not buying into it, you know.
Yeah, I'm not buying it either.
Yeah. So the last game I want to get to is it's a pretty great matchup, and I think it's getting a lot of hype and deservedly so. Is Coach Dennis Erickson, former NFL coach, we all know him, Seattle Seahawks.
Seahawks,
Yep, he's a great mind in football. Been around for a long time. He now coaches Arizona State Sun Devils, and they're going against the fastest team on the planet right now. I mean, the Oregon Ducks is other than getting embarrassed in week one against LSU, who is superior. Just
that's the best team in football.
Thank you.
Now.
That's like a minor NFL team, like that LSU team.
They're built. They better win the national
SEC.
title.
Yeah,
they're built for it.
Yeah, I mean, Les Miles is great. Les Miles is a great coach. He got those kids playing. But Oregon, who got embarrassed by them in week one, after that, 4 straight victories. I mean, they're annihilating opponents. I mean, they're not giving anybody the time of day right now. They're going against the ASU, who's built on defense. They have an all-world middle linebacker in Vontaze Burfict, and I think the Eagles should be eyeing him too. I hate to harp on your Eagles, but they should be eyeing this middle linebacker because he's great.
And should be eyeing any middle linebacker right now.
Oregon is without LaMichael James, who they said this morning has a elbow injury, so he won't be playing in this game. But they got backups on backups on backups. So I don't think Oregon is really concerned about that. But I mean, what do you think the difference is going to be in this game?
So, I guess you got to give the home field advantage to Oregon, man. That's a tough place to play. They got all those weird colors and everything, man. It's a distraction.
That's probably the biggest story right now in Oregon. what uniforms are we wearing?
Yeah, like it's just such a distraction, man. They'll come out in some lime green. It's just crazy nonsense, man. And the crowd's they got a great crowd. It's going to be. I think it's going to be close, though. I think it's going to be close. I'm looking more like might have like a 33-30 game, something like that along those lines. I think it's going to be plenty of scoring. I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think Oregon pulls it out.
I'm not so fast, my friend. As Lee Corso would say, I think Arizona State does pull the upset, and I'll tell you why. I think their offense is balanced, and that's what you need to go against teams like this. You need a balance, and I think defense, solely around that middle linebacker Vontaze Burfict, I think he gets those guys so amped up and so ready and so prepared to play that they stop that fast, high-scoring offense of Oregon. And I mean, I understand they're playing in Oregon, but I think these guys are built for this. This is why they sign up for. This is what they get recruited for. They're built to play in these big games. Coach Dennis Erickson, who's a great, great football mind, is going to get these kids to play. I mean, he's built that program from nothing. Let's be honest. They haven't been good since Jake Plummer. So I mean, so that's the last time we knew where Arizona State was exactly. So I mean, he gets these kids. They come in there, and I think they're going to play their butts off.
They pull off the upset.
They do. I think they do.
I mean, they should move up pretty high in the rankings. I mean, from 18 to let's say 12 or something. Yeah, like that.
I mean,
they pulled off a win like that.
They need it. The program needs it. They need it. Coach Erickson needs it. And then that Pac-12, 10, 16, whatever you want to call it now, it becomes a better conference because for the last few years, I mean, people have been like, the Pac is just terrible. It's been mediocre. Say it again?
See, but my thing is, Oregon's in, I think they consider themselves, I don't consider them, but I think they consider themselves in the running for the national title. So I think they're going to play hard at home this week, man. I think they bring it. That's the only reason I think they're going to beat ASU, man. They want to, one more loss, and they're out of it. So
yeah, because the way college football is set now, you get 2 losses, you might as well forget it. Just hunt for a big bowl game,
Yeah, and ASU, they're not in the running for it. So, they got their own, reasons, to come out there. They don't like Oregon, so they're going to come out there and play hard. But Oregon's at home. I think they're going to play a little better, execute a little better. They're going to win the football game.
I can't. It's hard to disagree with that. But like I said, I feel like purely on emotions. You know what I mean? All emotions and effort. I think ASU is going to have a little bit more fight in them. So we'll see what happens. But we'll be right back after this. You listen to In the Clutch with Mike and Haas on M&H Sports.
When they see me off in traffic, they say Jeezy on some other shit. Send them pussy niggas running straight back.
All right, we're back. Welcome to In the Clutch with Mike and Haas on M&H Sports. We've been going at it here, Haas. We have a good show so far. Right now we're on our third segment here that I like to call Take Your Pick. This is the first time we didn't do it last week's show. We're going to do it in this show. Me and Haas are going to go back and forth here, and we're going to take our pick between 2 categories, 2 people, 2 options here. And our first one is Tim Tebow's heart or Cam Newton's talent. Haas, which one you got?
Cam Newton's talent? Are you serious? What are we talking about here? Cam Newton is a stud, man. Like,
they're 1-4.
Wait to the game.
They're 1-4.
No. We all know Carolina stinks. So let's throw 1-4 out the window.
You can't. How can you throw 1-4 out the window?
Because Cam Newton he's a bona fide football star, man. Come on.
So okay.
Tim Tebow, Cam Newton, they don't deserve to be in the same conversation right now.
Why not? I mean,
what has Tim Tebow done in the NFL?
He's going to get his opportunity now. He's about to get his opportunity now. He's going to get his opportunity. He showed. He showed.
Tim Tebow is all right. He's an exceptional football player. Cam Newton is a quarterback, hands down. Like, no, there's no way. I think we should move on to the next.
No, we're not going to move on because I'm playing devil's advocate right now, and I'm going to tell you why. Cam Newton, yes, phenomenal stature, phenomenal athlete. Okay, quarterback so far is what he showed us. I can't give him good until he wins games.
Being a rookie?
Listen to me. I listen to you. I'm asking you to listen to me. He is an okay quarterback because he's not winning games yet. He's still throwing picks in big spots. He's still making bad reads in crucial times. They've been playing everybody close. They haven't been blown out really. So I give him that credit. As a rookie quarterback, he is playing very, very, very exceptional. But as a quarterback, he's okay. And until he can prove to me he can make those reads when they need him to make them and not turn the ball over and not run it when he should be passing it and all those little things he's going to eventually get, then I will put him into that good quarterback, and then who knows where he can go. The sky's the limit for this kid. But
I asked you a question, though.
Go ahead.
I asked you a question.
What was the question?
Was he the reason why they lost to the Saints on Sunday?
See, but now you're getting into specific. I understand that, but you're getting into specific.
Defense let him down.
Okay, I understand that, but
defense let him down.
But did he not turn the ball over at all that game and make bad reads early in the game? So you can't say one play. You can't. You're not listening.
Nobody expected Cam Newton to even play this well. Nobody wanted to write him off.
I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying to you though is, as a rookie, he's an okay quarterback. How can you say he's good or great?
All right, I didn't say he was elite though.
I didn't know. Neither one of us are.
Potential. The way he's playing the game now as a rookie, just being raw out of college. I'm talking about his potential. He's potentially going to be elite quarterback.
All right, so I'm gonna make a case,
no doubt about
and I'm gonna
that.
make a case.
Tebow.
I'm gonna make a case for Tebow. I'm gonna make a case right now.
As far as being a stud at quarterback, no.
I'm gonna make the case for Tebow right now. This is what I see. I don't see him winning the division, but I see him over the course of these next coming weeks playing inspired football. He's going to get that team to rally around him, where he has the heart, he has the backing, and he has the physical brute to go out there and just be like, I'm putting it all on my back. He doesn't care. He doesn't care how big the stage is. He loves the game and he has the passion.
He's playing flag football. Okay. He'll be inspired.
But that's okay. So is passion? First of all, is passion not part of the game? Is that not part of the game?
I think Cam got the passion.
I didn't say Cam did not have the passion. See, you're not understanding what I'm trying to say here. What I'm saying to you is, I would take Tim Tebow's heart and love for the game over Cam's brute talent, sole purpose, because more people can rally around that than they will Cam Newton's arm. Because again, he's 1-4. Okay. So I mean, he's 1-4. If he's so talented, win some more games. Okay, you can't say, oh, he got the team to lead and his defense let him down. Okay, what happened in the previous 3 quarters? What happened in the 3 quarters before that?
Carolina stinks, though.
So does the Broncos.
Steve Smith.
So does the Broncos.
He brought him back from the dead. Like he brought him right back from the grave. It's great to see Steve Smith playing well.
It is. I love Steve Smith. I do. I think he's one of the most underrated receivers now. But you know, he had his shine. He had his moment when Carolina was going to the playoffs for those years. He had that. He had that. All right. So next topic. Take your pick, Haas. Kevin Cobb situation in Arizona or Matt Castle situation in Kansas City?
Kevin Cobb, man. You got Larry Fitzgerald. I mean,
who's not getting the ball though, but go ahead.
You have him. It's like, all right, you got to find a way to get him the ball. That's on the offense coordinator. That's on Kevin Cobb. That's execution. That's something they got to work on in practice so they can get it done on Sunday. But I mean, I'd much rather have Larry Fitzgerald and much rather have Larry Fitzgerald than having Matt Castle playing in Kansas City. I mean, he does have Dwayne Bowe or whatever, but you got it. Fitzgerald's top 1-2 receiver in the league. So
yeah, but this is what I look about with Kevin Cobb though. I think he, with all that said, it was a decent running game in Beanie Wells with an okay defense. Okay, and
not okay,
and a top flight receiver like that. Why aren't you winning more games? Why aren't you making more plays?
This goes back to what I've always told whoever would listen to me. Kevin Cobb is a backup quarterback. Matt Castle also is a backup quarterback. I don't know how these quarterbacks are getting these deals.
Okay, two things. Oh, no. 2 things. Matt Castle played the whole season. Okay, and he played the whole season in New England. We can go with the system. Okay, but he has a similar system with Todd Haley. Todd Haley runs a similar system now.
They don't have the personnel. They don't have the personnel.
So you're making my point now. So now you're making the point I was actually going to make. I would take Matt Castle's situation solely because if they can get him the personnel and his running back doesn't go down for the whole season, they win a division like they did last year. Like he's coming off a division win. All right, you can't write Castle off. They won a division last year, the AFC West. He's having some trouble right now, clicking with his offensive receivers, and he lost his running back. But I would still take his situation over Kevin Cobb because I don't think Kevin Cobb has the tools. Matt Castle has the tools. He has the tools.
Kevin Cobb does have the tools.
I disagree. No. I'm talking about tools as in the physical aspect of talent.
As talent.
Yes, as talent.
No, Castle has a better arm.
Thank you.
He has a much better arm.
And that's why I would take it.
See, now we're agreeing because Castle, as far as being who is the better quarterback, I think I would much rather have Matt Castle. I was looking at the situation.
No. But we are.
I like Arizona's. Yeah, I like Arizona's situation.
Exactly.
If I had to pick the quarterback, I would definitely pick Castle.
Yeah.
I'd pick the stronger arm than Kevin Cobb being accurate because Kevin Cobb is not always exactly accurate to begin with. So,
Exactly.
And he doesn't have the arm to make all the throws. He can't make a 15-yard out. Like that's not something he's capable of doing. He doesn't have a great deep ball, which. I mean, that's unfortunate because you got Larry Fitzgerald that can, jump over anybody or run past anybody or, he can go get the football. You got to get him the football.
Yeah, but
so I think you put Matt Castle in Arizona. I think Arizona is
a better team.
They might be contending with San Francisco right now for that division.
So and this is why I take Matt Castle's situation. Now I know I said he's a better quarterback, but I take his situation because I think if you give him another tool, other than his running back going down, his situation becomes better. And I think they still, and I think they still can turn it around a little bit in Kansas City. I think they can get to 7-9, 8-8, and maybe battle for that third and fourth spot with Denver. Because of Matt Castle. I think his situation and him, I think he'll get there. And like I said, like you said about money, I think he earned a paycheck. Did he earn what he got? Who knows?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think both of them are in the same boat. I think they'll be good backup quarterbacks.
Exactly.
That's what they need to be. I think both teams should be shopping around for a quarterback.
I don't think so because they're both tied up in some money that they can't get out of for about 2 more seasons.
I'm saying what they should do. I know what they're not going to do. I'm just saying they should both be looking for starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, I just take a team that was already in the playoffs last year, and then you got a guy, Kevin Cobb, who, like you said, what has he proven to us? And he still threw $60-something million at him. So, I think Matt Castle's situation is just makes more sense to me. That's all.
Yeah. Okay.
Next topic. We're gonna talk big guys. We're gonna talk offensive line.
Okay.
What would you rather have? Take your pick. Mike Vick's offensive line or Jay Cutler's offensive line?
Push. Is that possible?
There's no push. No, we're not.
Push?
No, only cowards push. Only cowards do that. You got to pick one.
Somewhere? Hold on. Let me put real quick.
I tell you why you should do that, because they're both horrible.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Like
this
Charles Barkley would say, they're horrible.
Question,
it's a fair question, because I'm gonna tell you, I'll take the lead. I'll take the lead on this, because there's 2 reasons.
All right.
Jay Cutler's offensive line can run the football. They're proving that if you stick Matt Forte back there and you hand that ball off to him, they will run the football and run it effectively. Jay Cutler has shown if you give him some time, he will make the throws. And at times he has done that. Monday night, he did not do it in the second half because he was under pressure all day long, or all night, being a Monday night game. So I would say the Chicago Bears offensive line I would take over the Eagles, and the Eagles offensive line, which I think is the worst in the business. Some people say the Steelers, they're pretty bad too. Big Ben got sacked 5 times 2 weeks ago. I would say the Eagles need help, and I don't think even if they sat back and started to run the ball, I don't think it would be effective. And even if Vic had a little bit more time, I don't think he would make the plays that need to be made, because he's always going to be worrying about, will my offensive line hurt me? And that's my view of it. So I take the Bears right now.
No, I agree. I think the Bears' run game proves that if they had to be one-dimensional, then running the football is what they need to do. If the Eagles had to be one-dimensional, it doesn't matter what they're going to do. Somebody's going to get hit and somebody's going to get hurt. That's what it seems like to me.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. But it goes on to say, though, if the Bears, like we did with Matt Castle and Kevin Cobb, if you switch the 2 quarterbacks, does the Eagles become a better team, or the Bears become a better team? Because with Cutler not getting pressure, not getting time to throw the ball in Chicago, and Vic not getting time to make plays in Philly, you switch those 2 quarterbacks, I think the situation stays the same. I really do. That's how bad these offensive lines are. Monday night you seen the right tackle. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce his name, O'Millier or whatever his name is. Forgive me for messing up. He gave up 2 sacks on 2 consecutive plays, and it took him all the way to the 3rd quarter until they took him out. Like, that's just, that's terrible. That's terrible. And then you got the Eagles, Vic getting pressured every other play. It's terrible. It's terrible. I don't see, can either offensive line get fixed? Do you think either offensive line is going to get better?
No, that offensive line is not going to get better. Not at all.
Either one? You talking about Chicago or Philly? Neither one's going to get any better?
Oh, Philly. Chicago can get better because they can run the football and take some pressure off of Jay Cutler. Philadelphia can't just run the football. They have to do other things. So, no. So I think Chicago can get better. Philly can't, because it's just too much mixed matching on their offensive line.
So you think if the Eagles lined it up and said, we're just going to run the football right down your mouth, we're not going to try any of these funky, fancy plays, these screens, these little guard traps, these little flea flickers, you don't think that offensive line is built to be able to do that?
No, I don't think so, no.
Okay, all right. I agree with you, because I think I mentioned it last week. I was talking to you about that, about not getting the right players in there, not getting the right offensive lineman, the type of offensive lineman Vic needs, in order for him to make these plays. And I'm glad you're coming over to my side and agreeing with me now. Even though you being an Eagles fan, you don't want to talk too bad about your team.
I'm speaking what it is. It's the truth. Like, they have problems on the offensive line, major problems. And I think they are the worst offensive line in football.
Yeah, I mean that's not even up for an argument anymore. I don't think. I think I think they are, and I think Jay Cutler's Bears are very close second, if not in some eyes probably the worst, because Cutler was dancing back there. He should have been on Dancing with the Stars as much dancing he was doing Monday night, and it's been like that. You seen last year when he got that concussion against the Giants, and they get rid of, this is what I don't understand. You get rid of your all-world center and Olin Kreutz. You let him go down to New Orleans Saints. I mean, this guy, of course, he's up there with 10, 12 years in the league, but he still gets the job done. He makes the right calls, and he protects you more than you're getting protected now. I don't understand organizations who do these things. The Eagles, they don't want to sign linemen. Then you got the Bears who let some linemen go. I mean, Dallas did this also. They let linemen go to get younger and save money, but your quarterbacks are getting beat up. Romo's hurt. Vic's, hurt, throwing picks. Cutler will be hurt soon. I mean, let's not get it twisted. He will be hurt soon, and nobody wants to invest in these veteran linemen. Why do you think that is?
I think teams teams that have talent, they think their talent can get them through. So I look at teams like let's just stay on the Eagles. The Eagles have plenty of talent on the offensive side of the football in the skill positions. But when it comes down to the meat and potatoes, they're not physical enough because they don't have the right people on the offensive line. And that's what's generally giving them problems with them controlling, time possession or preventing turnovers. When you don't have if you're not solid in the offensive line in your foundation, mistakes will happen, and they've been turning the football over a lot. So just using them as an example, when you spend you spend money for all these skilled players, and you try to score points, you gotta solidify your foundation, and that's what the Eagles aren't doing.
No, yeah, I agree, and then, we'll get into some GM talk later when we talk about those crazy Red Sox and Theo Epstein leaving. But I think the general managers right now are just they're trying to cut costs, and they're not building the foundation from the inside out, and everybody's trying to just bank on the talent they already have, and we don't need this, we can get by with that. And I think for those three teams specifically we talked about who are having offensive line trouble, and we can throw the Steelers in there a little bit too, because they got rid of a couple guys, and Max Starks is back now, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Don't give all the money to these quarterbacks who haven't proven themselves. Don't give all the money to these talent guys who get hurt every now and then. And these holdouts. Why don't you give it to the group? The brutes up front, defensive linemen, offensive linemen. They the ones that win the game and lose the game inside the trenches. And I think they need to start getting respected like that. Just because a guy gets up in age and you don't think he can block anymore, okay, well he didn't show you anything that he couldn't. You just didn't want to pay him, so you cut him. Right. So I think all three of those teams right now are going to continue to have offensive line trouble until they start to see their mistakes there. But all right, so we'll go to our last take your pick topic here, and this is an interesting one. I mean, this is I think really 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 interesting here. Beyonce the singer or Beyonce the hot mom? What do you think? Kind of throw a wrench at you, right?
What does that have to do with sports? Maybe because the oldest part
there
of the
you go. Yeah, I was going to throw that in there once you stopped talking, but Beyonce's husband is a minority owner of the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, Jay-Z, and that's a little bit of a sports tie, just to kind of throw a wrench at you.
Let's go with the hot mom, man. Let's go with the hot mom. We all love babies, so. Go with the hot mom. I'm going with hot mom.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you know what? I can't really disagree with that, to be honest with you. I would take Beyonce, the hot mom, over Beyonce, the singer.
Yeah, I think the hot mom can quiet Sasha Fierce or whatever her name is when she's on the stage. We can calm her down and see the real Beyonce. So let's go with hot mom.
Yeah, we'll take that. You're listening to In the Clutch with M&H Sports. I'm Mike. He's Haas.
On Caldwell Radio.
All right, you're back in the clutch with M&H Sports. I'm Mike. He's Haas. Remember, you can always follow us on Twitter at MNH_sports. You can also email us any questions, any concerns. We're MNHsports@yahoo.com. Let us know what you want to talk about. We'll get it on the air. We're going down the home stretch here, Haas, and we're going to, unfortunately talk a little bit about the NBA. And I say unfortunately because there isn't any NBA being played right now. And, to two huge basketball fans, I mean, myself and you, what are we going to do? What are we going to do right now? I mean, it's still locked out. It's a very sad time for NBA basketball. All these players are going overseas. Then you got players here just talking about we're not budging. And then now the 50-50 split turns into the owners saying you guys are going to miss checks. So we're going to wait for the 53-47 split of the BRI basketball-related, BIR basketball, I said it right the first time, basketball-related revenue. And I don't see an ending to this. I feel like we might lose the season. Do you think so?
I think we lose the season, man, because the owners have nothing. They have nothing to lose. A lot of these owners are losing money. Like I said last week, you're talking about the Cavaliers, the Minnesota Timberwolves, Charlotte Bobcats, New Orleans Hornets. These teams are losing money, so they look at it as losing the whole season. They would actually lose less money. So unless they get the deal that they want, they're not going to budge. So
no, and I agree with you with that. I mean, these owners. I mean, they unlike the NFL owners, I think these NBA owners really have some leverage here. I really do.
Yeah, they do.
I think they have some leverage because, like you said, it's nothing going to get done because they know these players need these game checks. You know what I mean? These players, they especially the ones making league minimum, making mid-level exception, they might not have saved their money. I mean, we had Amari Stoudemire, or not us, I'm sorry. I've seen Amari Stoudemire on ESPN yesterday, and he was on all the shows making his rounds, and all he kept saying was, we're going to stick together. We're going to stick together. Guys are saving their money. We're going to stick together. Guys are saving their money. It was like
but he's making tons of money.
Exactly. That's my point. Every time, one of the guys asked him, what about these guys and what about this? He just kept deferring to the fact that, we're sticking together. Hopefully a deal will get done soon. You know what I mean? To me, that didn't show too much promise. Like, that didn't show that the players are really feeling like, they're going to win this and they're going to, and it's sad to say it has to be a winner-loser, but, isn't that what it is, though, a winner and a loser?
Yeah, and the players will lose because the players have everything to lose. They're going to be missing checks, and a lot of them live, certain lifestyles. So.
Lavish. You could say it, lavish. Lavish lifestyles.
Yeah, they'll miss out, and they're going to budge eventually. Whether it's the 53-47 split with the owners getting 53% or whatever they're looking for. They're going to budge. Whether it might be 51-49, but either way, they're going to miss out. So they'll budge eventually. Now, when they're going to budge, I don't know. Is it February? And then if it comes down to February, March, we lose the whole season. So I don't know if the players want to let it get that bad. They're trying to stand together, but you might see some.
Oh no, you're gonna see some guys cross the line. Yeah, you're gonna see some guys cross the picket line, and there's all these talks about the players might start their own league. He kept saying we're doing all these charity games. They're pretty intense, and when the score is 148-150, there's no intensity there. But
ain't nobody
playing no D. They don't play it in the NBA either. But I say this because he's on TV, and you got Derek Fisher, who I appreciate and I think is a heck of a man first, and then a basketball player. I think he has a lot on his back right now, and like you said, I think it's gonna break him because they have no leverage. They have no leverage, and you keep playing these charity games. You could take a guy, you put him overseas. You start let's say you do start your own little whatever league. As soon as you get hurt, messed up your NBA future. You know what I mean? So why take all these risks for what? You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me because you get hurt, or one of these guys get hurt overseas or get hurt in these charity games, and you got a situation where the owner's like, yep, you guys need us. Look what you're doing. You know what I mean? So
exactly. And I want to bring up a point. If you're the owner of the Denver Nuggets and you watch 3 or 4 players go over to China, can't come back to March, you think you're in a rush for a season?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's for what?
I'm not in a rush for a season.
Yeah, and then you're speaking of the Denver Nuggets, who lost Kenyon Martin, Wilson Chandler, but also Wilson Chandler was a free agent, so he wasn't necessarily going to come back.
Or be a free agent,
exactly. And I think they had
but Kenyon wanted to bring him back.
JR and Kenyon are also over there. JR Smith. I'm sorry. Kenyon Martin and Ty Lawson are already over there too. So he got most of his squad over there playing ball. So again, Nuggets ownership isn't worried about it. But this is my problem with this. MLB had their strike. NHL had their strike. Lose a season, lose most of your season. it's so hard to get that casual fan back. You know what I mean?
It is. We've seen that with the NBA.
Exactly. In
99. It took them about 5-6 years to be back on track. So.
But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about if they lose the whole season. You see what I'm saying? You lose a whole season, then it is almost impossible to get the casual fan back. You know, hockey. I don't think hockey's still back from that.
They still haven't recovered.
Yeah, from that whole
baseball,
season.
It took about until they started
hitting the home runs. Yeah, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire. Yeah.
And then they brought baseball back.
Yeah, and that's how I see it. I see if they lose the whole season, and I think David Stern, people call him a great commissioner. Some people call him a terrible commissioner. I'm indifferent. I'm going to be honest. I'm indifferent. You got to see this. The man has had 2 lockouts under his era. So that's something against him, and he needs to he needs to know that. And it's hard. It's just hard for me to look at it, and it's hard for me to understand it. But if they lose the whole season, they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
Yeah, he might have to grow that beard back. Because last time he grew the beard, they got out of the lockout. So you got to look at how he wants to trim that beard, keep it fresh, professional. Maybe they can get out this lockout.
Keep that silver fox look with the silver highlights in his hair.
It's like a mink on your face. So.
I like it. Some interesting news around the baseball world before we get into the playoffs. One, Theo Epstein, they said, agreed to sign with the Cubs, 5 years, $20 million to be their general manager. I think vice presidency as well. I'm not sure the exact things, but there's a compensation pack that Boston's getting back for that. Now, the MLB is looking under that because MLB does not want other teams fishing out other executives from other teams for compensation. Right. They don't want that happening. It could be a tremendous downfall. So, Ozzie Guillen was already traded to the Marlins from the White Sox. So there's a lot of managerial and executive stuff going on.
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
How does that happen?
I don't know. But a more interesting fact was the article in I think it was the Boston Globe about Red Sox pitchers, Lester, Lackey, and Beckett, pretty much acting like they're at a frat house during home games. It pointed out some interesting things: drinking beer in the clubhouse during games, eating chicken. Apparently, it was fried chicken they had to mention out. I don't know why they put that, but fried chicken.
What they like, man. They like fried chicken over there in Boston.
Fried chicken, beer, and playing video games. And I hope it was MLB The Show because it's a lot better than MLB 2K.
It's the only show they got. Only show they got.
Exactly. So, what do you think of all that? First, touch on the Theo Epstein. You think he's going to do good in Chicago, and then I want you to talk a little bit about the Boston situation.
Well, look at his resume in Boston. He done well. So let's see. Him going to Chicago. Chicago has been they're what the Red Sox were. So let's just say that they still, I think they still got some talent over there, and he'll put the right pieces in there. I think they'll be competitive. I don't know if they're going to win a championship.
Yeah, they won't
in the next 10 years, but I know they'll be competitive. They'll make some postseason. Yeah, they'll make some postseason runs under him. I think he'll get the right people in there.
Yeah, they're cursed. But touch on the Boston for me real quick.
Look at the slide they had in September. So you got a whole bunch of out of shape dudes. Some of them past their prime.
It makes sense.
Eating fried chicken, drinking beer, playing video games when they're in the hunt. It's supposed to be a hunt for winning a World Series title. I had wrote a blog. I want to say Bly. And I stated that we're probably looking at a Phillies and Red Sox World Series.
That's what everyone
both
thought.
Teams were playing at
that's what everybody thought.
And they went from being maybe the best or second best team in all of baseball to watching all of the playoffs on TV. And you hear this from the Boston Globe, but you got to look at how disciplined are they. And then Terry Francona really did lose his players. You got to. I think he's very credible in what he's saying. He couldn't get to these guys. How disrespectful to the organization, to your manager, to just your teammates, because they're the pitching staff. They don't have to go every day.
Yeah.
So
it's total
you got
disrespect.
other guys that's fighting for you to get a ring, and you're sitting there getting fat.
Pretty much.
Fat, getting drunk.
Somebody should do
fun.
something. Somebody should look into that. There's too many overweight baseball players. It's too many. You guys are getting paid.
It's got to be like some type of physical standard to play the game of baseball, because it's not fair to other athletes.
Yeah, absolutely right. So we got the ALCS and the NLCS on tonight. And I be honest with you, with the Phillies out, with the Yankees out, with the Red Sox out, the 3 major big teams right now, and all looking from home. Not a lot of interest going on. I mean, Texas.
No,
Texas.
if you're the diehard baseball fan, you're probably
all
loving
into
it.
it. Yeah, you're into
the underdog, bringing home the World Series title. That's just great. Like me personally, I just hope Milwaukee wins it for no apparent reason.
I think I'm on that Milwaukee bandwagon too.
Yeah, and I like Prince Fielder. But when he hits a home run, it looks like it goes to the moon and then comes back.
Monstrous.
So, yeah, it's exciting when he hits a home run. So I'm watching because of them.
Yeah.
I want to see Texas in it again, though. I think they have unfinished business, and he might eventually win
it all. Yeah, Texas and the Brewers. But we're gonna get to our last segment of the show today. We do it each and every Wednesday here. The Boss of the Week. This is where we just name who we think had the best week in sports. And my Boss of the Week goes to Al Davis, the owner of and runner of the Oakland Raiders. Passed this past weekend, Saturday, right before the Oakland Raiders game on Sunday against the Texans. And this man did so much for football, so much for the Oakland Raiders organization. And it's a sad time to see him go. Even though a lot of people think the team might go forward now, he's gone. Nobody really thought he would leave. They would say things like that, but nobody thought he would leave us. They thought the man would live to 100 years old. So my Boss of the Week goes to rest in peace, Al Davis.
Yeah, and I'm going to stay on Raider Nation, and I'm not going to go with Al Davis because, you already got him, deservingly so. That's your Raiders. But I'm going to stay on the Raiders, and I'm going to go with Michael Huff, and I'm going to give you the reason why. There was 10 men on the field on that last play.
Only the Raiders.
10 men on the field. Schaub had a lane. It looked like he had a lane to hit the corner and run into the end zone.
Yeah.
And then he threw this little soft duck. I don't even know what to call it.
It was definitely a duck.
And Michael Huff came from, because of the situation, him running and the receiver he was guarding, the receiver made a move and he was behind. And then Schaub threw this pass, which he probably thought was an easy touchdown. And then Huff just made a play on it, just got in front of the ball, made a play on it. 10 men on the field. I gave him the Boss of the Week because he saved the Raiders, and it was much props to Al Davis because they had a tough time and they had to get out there and play, and he got it done. So I'm gonna give him the Boss of the Week.
Yeah, Hugh Jackson's definitely said Al Davis had his hands on that ball. So
he did. We all know he did.
Yeah,
there was 10 men on the field.
Exactly.
That's crazy. That doesn't happen.
That doesn't happen. There you go. That doesn't happen. But we have now listened to another week of In the Clutch with M&H Sports. And thank you guys for listening. Remember, you can email us at mnhsports@yahoo.com. Hit us up on Twitter at mnh_sports. We will read all our tweets, tweet you back, read all our emails, and get you back. It's been a pleasure. I'm Mike. He's Haas.
On Call Real Radio.